Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowhand. Let's continue. So, we did Avalon Marsh and that was a real struggle, and now we are just in a phase where as soon as I run into any more struggle, I'm gonna just dump down to normal. And all it was really a fight, which really didn't move the story forward at all. Now we're going to the coaching and stables, in which Osler, I guess is what that says. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm watching. I use my TV that's 10 feet away from me, so at a 10-foot distance, regular size text, which would be fine if it was directly in front of your face, is kind of hard to read. But I think that says also Joe challenges our heroine to a fist fight, which that doesn't really imply to me that we're going to get any kind of weapon or equipment. And then we're going to be back in the next chapter to Avalon Marsh. So, yeah, it feels like this chapter could be a side distraction in a story that is just far too full of side distractions. And we've got a background here of a stable, which I guess is fine. Not we'll see how well that really integrates into the story. We do see a lantern, like the lanterns we've been using, but that's very possibly just a coincidence. So it's Ostler, O-S-T-L-E-R, Joe, and I assume that's like an old English term for horse stable manager or something like that. Well met, traveler. Welcome to the Whistling Willows. Let me take care of your horse. Thank you. And I guess Shadowhand is still using that horse she stole from the beginning of the story, although it would have been very forgivable if people had forgotten all about that horse, and it's very possible she's using a different horse now, and it doesn't really come into play. Thank you, sir. I'm told you have a lot of information to share. Indeed, I might, but my price for talking is for you to take part in some sporting entertainment. I live and die for the sport of a good fist fight. Are you game? Now, I guess we're just ignoring the sexism that would be in the real world history of this time frame. The idea of a woman, kind of obvious woman, being challenged to a fight is kind of laughable. Even in modern times, like boxing between women and men doesn't really happen, and female very rarely do any kind of blood sport. But yeah, this is definitely not going to be a fair fight when you just look at his muscly arms and then her thin, weak arms. And she's only been Shadowhand for a brief few days, it feels like, not even a week or two. I have no experience, but I'm willing to learn. That's the spirit. Train with me first, and then if you're good enough, we can spar in earnest. Yeah. So this story might be that the gypsy lady is just sending me around to train me to be stronger, and that this is really just a plot to send the heroine through a journey of growth. That is believable in the sense that everything is believable because the story barely says anything anyways, so you can inject any narrative or subtext you want. Alright, let's go. So we have a brawling glove, which is a melee weapon, left, and a brawling glove right, which that seems like really a waste of time as far as animation going. You really didn't need to draw these two. Even if these gloves were actually used as part of the hands of another character and they've just kind of reused that art, it would still logically, gameplay wise, make a lot more sense to just have two brawling gloves. The charge is the same for both. The damage is the same. The effect is the same. So it is really ridiculous. Find a strong waist belt. Achieve an overkill of 8. And defeat the chapter boss. Let's go 3 rounds. I expect a good clean fight. Fist only. So I kind of just assume that this first 3 sub-chapters will just be 3 individual rounds. And we can't do anything other than change our abilities and our outfits. Personally, and this probably is more of personal opinion than anything, I feel like it probably took a lot of effort to program in different abilities and things being unlocked than it would have just to have all the challenges allow you to change your equipment and change your gear. But whatever, I suppose they did it. Let's play. There's not really a lot more you can do. And at the end of the day, it still is just solitaire. And I don't think we're gonna learn any kind of special ability that would cause our melee fighting to charge faster when we made matches. I don't know, with the mask would be about the only one that would even make sense as far as a melee ability. But melee weapons already get charged by the trees anyways. So we already have that ability. 1 0 1 0 9. Can't play this. 8. And I guess if I undid 2 things, I could get back to 1 and maybe do 1 2 3 4. Let's see, can we do undo? No. You can't. You can only undo once anyways. So and then 8 or 0, take the 0. And then re-roll this 8 to a 1. 2. This 3 is better. This 2 is better. This 3 is better. 2. Then no reason not to just smack with one or the other. You don't have to agonize on that decision. And since it only takes 3 to do something. Interesting, he has an ability to counter, 20% chance to counter. I don't have a chance to counter. Okay. Well, if you introduce the idea of countering, then all of a sudden, a lot of the previous battles that we struggled to get done quickly and we struggled to do enough damage, they now have an increased chance of success if we went back and played the levels a second time, and all of a sudden every time they attacked we countered. But by the time we got back to doing like chapter 2, where our health, our defense, our attack, it's all going to be so overpowered that it's going to be very laughable. Yeah, and I think we've got a win here. 6-5. No, 6, 7. I guess here. And then 8. And then 7 here. And then smack them. The overkill will be potentially something we'll have to struggle with a little bit, but I don't think that much. 3, 4. Can't play that 5, but we can do this one. Then 5, 4, 3. Yeah, and I don't see myself losing here, so I might as well see if we can get a charges up and just prepare for the next turn. We're not getting any joker cards, which is a little surprising. Yeah, unless the game is going to just now actively cheat against me. Which, thank goodness, this game has not felt like it has done that. There is some weirdness, though, that he seems to be taking 2 turns. I don't know if I'm getting stunned or what. If I am getting stunned, it's seeming like it doesn't last as long as a normal stunning normally does. Wow, I am about to lose. Should I use a joker card here? Two, 1, 0. 17 with a defense of 6 is not enough. If I played 1 now, that wouldn't really do anything, so let's shuffle. We could get 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 20. 20 minus that would be 14. Do that, do that. That's 21. 21 should be directly on the nose. And that is not going to get an overkill of 8. But I imagine we'll get better in the next challenge, and at least that gets us 3 stars and moving forward. Good effort. Ask me your first question. What do you know about Captain Dread, and who does he deal with? Captain Dread imports brandy, tobacco, and tea without the excise man's consent. Our very local magistrate is his best customer, but the magistrate can have the captain tried and hanged whenever he pleases. So the magistrate is getting tobacco and brandy without paying taxes and smuggling it in. I think Captain Dread would prefer to run his own business, but money sourced by the magistrate keeps his ventures afloat. So we take down the magistrate, we probably take down Dread too. This just confirms what I already knew. One more round and you can ask me another. Yeah, you definitely see a problem here where you just have this character who's come out of nowhere, who's just going to tell you the story straight to your face in case you hadn't already guessed it. And there is kind of a problem with a guy coming out of nowhere and explaining the story to the main female protagonist.
Duel.
It's something to at least think about. Although I'm not going to personally complain about it too much. 9, 0, 9. And then playing 8, 7. Back to 8, 7. Let's see, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then let's see if we can change this to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6. Should we play this now? Sure. That didn't help us any, but whatever. And it doesn't feel like his stats or anything changed, so we're just doing the same thing over again. One, two. Now we're kind of trapped until we can play this card. And even then, we need to play these remaining cards. And see, we in the last duel got very much ahead also, and then all of a sudden he started catching up. And so my concern is that we're going to start to see more of that happening, where all of a sudden the game is just going to let him catch up and win. And he's somehow programmed to be a come from behind victor. Eight, 7, 6, 5. Can't do anything more. And it definitely feels like there'd be a system here where a left and a right would mean something different, or have a chance of stunning and a different chance. Or the left only charges on alternate turns, because you do have turns taken, so like can only be used on, they both charge, but one can only be used on even turns, one can only be used on odd turns. Something like that would be interesting. Otherwise you can just do what I'm doing, which is scrolling to the one that is most convenient and closest to where the mouse cursor would be, and using that over and over again. And there's no benefit for leaving something charged for a long time. It doesn't develop some kind of like overcharge, which that would be the next step towards something like that, I guess. Let's see. There's a lot of animations. I've noticed a lot more characters do just step halfway out of their bounding box and almost make direct contact with the main character when they attack. I thought that was kind of unique to one character, but I guess in the longer run it's just become kind of standard. 3. See, there I don't think are even enough cards. There's barely going to be enough cards to even unlock this. 4, 3. This would have to be a cup and this would have to be a cup. I was trying to see if maybe that would change to a cup, but it didn't. Didn't seem to change to it at all. We got a victory, but we didn't get that overkill. I've earned another answer. What do you know about Rich Turnpike? Ah, a sorry tale. Turnpike was a lovely lad, a true romantic. He was in love with Bess, the magistrate's daughter, some years ago. She was an uncommon beauty, and they wanted to wed, but when Turnpike asked for a hand, the magistrate challenged him to a duel instead. Tragically, poor Bess stepped in and took the bullet to stop the two men she loved from killing each other. So, that's an interesting story, certainly, but it would have been better told by Rich Turnpike, perhaps when we ran into him in the pub 4 or 5 chapters ago. And it certainly could have retroactively colored lines of dialogue that could have been there for Rich Turnpike, where he specifically said, I hate the magistrate. I'll do anything to defeat him. Yeah, it kind of feels like this is a very first pass, very loose pass of a story. Whereas if you write a story and you go from the beginning to the end and you've written a complete story, it probably wouldn't be terrible to then read your story and go back and then start rewriting the first chapters to better lead towards the grand finale at the end in the final chapter. A lot of people might very well benefit from writing a story backwards. Write the ending first, and then it will make very logical sense to what happens in the past, in the previous chapters, to get to that ending. We don't need to write... I don't recommend people write stories that are like M. Night Shyamalan twists, or just we've run out of time, let's just throw a Deus Ex Machina in the story and end everything. Turnpike's heart broke. The magistrate, he felt impotent fury, seeking vengeance. Our magistrate said Turnpike must run his illegal errands forever or face a trial for Bessie's murder. So began Turnpike's criminal career, in thrall to the very man who denied him happiness. Poor Turnpike. Is the magistrate really masterminding everything? Aha, that's another question. Go another round and I'll tell you more. It'd be more interesting, actually, if the magistrate wasn't the mastermind and it was Mariah in secret running everything, with her love letters being encoded messages. Yeah, and there's really nothing more that you can equip. The one thing I guess we could try to hope for is to get more gold. There's plenty of weapons still to buy, and there's plenty of reason to still have some extra cash on hand. 0, 1, 2, 1. I guess that's our only real option. And then 2, and then hit. So now I'm getting stunned. Like, what is his chance to stun? 15, 25%? 15% and 25% with the left hook. Well, I just have a brawling glove and a brawling glove. So he has different items, and at least they did decide not to reanimate the things. But then that leads to confusion, certainly when you have a weapon like this that looks exactly like this, and yet it's a different charge and a different damage. Or maybe the same charge and the same damage, but, well, actually, right jab is the same exactly as brawling glove right. It's this one that's different. 3. This could be disarmed though, unlike the previous one. This one has a different charge and different damage. I cannot play anything though. Yeah, and you can see she's wrecked. We might as well just give up at this point. I don't think there's a high chance of surviving for much longer. Yeah. Let's just restart the hand. There's no reason to go further down that path. And this one does have background music, so I'll applaud that. But this is also, I imagine, the kind of background music that could get very annoying very fast. And I am not getting anywhere fast. 4, 3, 4. Suppose I might try and change my equipment. Zero, 9, 8. C5, 6. May have played wrong there. Maybe if I gotten rid of this 4. 6. Yeah, let's get rid of this 3. 7. 6. I guess that didn't work out the way I was hoping it would, but whatever. He's stunned. I don't know how he specifically ended up being stunned, but hey, I guess if we continue stunning, we can potentially succeed. I guess the question comes down to overkill at a certain point. Yeah, it's questionable if I'm gonna be able to get an overkill of 8. And I have to get an overkill of 8. See, with his stun abilities, that does seem like that could easily let him catch up and defeat me, if not easily. Just normal difficulty. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. Yeah. Yep. There's still a chance to lose, is I guess the message. Guess you have to play 9 or you go 0 and it doesn't do anything, so yeah, do that. Then if we had a 7 we could get that 6, but we don't. To play a spare 7, but that wouldn't really help. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle now. I don't even think it's worth it to shuffle at the moment. Okay, 3 minus 6 makes it 3. So we need a 5 extra. We need a 17 hit for the overkill to work. 7, 6 doesn't really do anything. Shuffling for the 1 I think is a little too risky. Joker 4. Yeah, it's just shuffle anyways. That got us the Joker at the very least. So this, and then this. Then if I did 7, I could do that, but then I'd pretty much need a Joker. 7. Joker, 3, 4, 3, 4. Let's see. I think we're 1 short still. Seven, 8, 9. That should be enough. So let's play. Could do Joker. Just for safety's sake, we'll do that and get some extra gold. That's not a terrible way to play. Overkill 12. But that only got us 1 star. Do we need to get a specific number of stars in this chapter? No, good. So then we'll take that and move forward. So who else is involved with the magistrate? Where's the money coming from for his schemes? An interesting question. There once was a poor stable boy named Persimmon Flesh, worked in these very stables, in fact. He had a silver tongue and wheedled his way into the heart of the late Lord Darkmoor, God rest his soul. Yes, I have heard of Lord Darkmoor. I wish I'd known him. Of course she knew him. It's her father. We now are getting told that the father is dead, like past the halfway point in the story, where it would have made a lot of sense to just in passing in the first chapter say, oh, your father has passed, and and it was a long time ago, and so it's something that should be known, but it's not something that happened recently. Indeed, this young persimmon uh, went up in the world and changed his name to Peregrine, and in time, Lord Darkmoor came to trust Flush with to help him oversee his estate. Okay, so Peregrine Flush. Darkmoor died young in a hunting accident, leaving his widow just about to have a child, so she never even met her father. Now the question is, what happened to the mother? And there is a question now: did Peregrine Flush kill Lord Darkmoor for some reason? Lady Darkmoor died giving birth, poor thing. So literally, Shadowhand has been raised without any of her biological family at all, which is, I hate to say lazy writing, but it kind of feels like lazy writing at the first thought. It's like, what's the easiest, most dramatic way to not have to write a mother and father character and eliminate the mother and father character? Oh, they both died. But it'd be too much for them to both die at the same time, so let's give two separate reasons for them to die. Like, it would be very hard to fake the mother dying in labor. Let's see. Peregrine Flush became the little baby girl's guardian. Now, at this point, if you're raising a girl as your own, you have to be pretty evil to have raised her to nearly being 21 and not gained an amount of affection or love for her. And so that really paints Peregrine as being not just a guy who got caught up on stealing other people's money and living the high life, but a purely heartless sociopath who has been simply pretending to care about Lady Cornelia this whole time. Although these things do seem to happen. And the thing is, our Mr. Flush never seems short of cash. He had none of his own, so rumor has it he has been spending the Darkmoor fortune all these years. I feel a little sick. Indeed, it's not right. Flush and the magistrate are as thick as thieves, laundering the Darkmoor fortune and profiting from Dread's smuggling racket. We can continue in a moment. First, will you help me find my fighting belt? I'm sure I left it in here earlier. Yes, let's take a moment to rest and find your belt. I think I need to think about what you've told me. And clearly, Shadowhand Lady Cornelia never even for a second questioned or distrusted Peregrine. Which storyline wise probably should have then been better written into a story where Shadowhand was talking to Peregrine a lot more and trusting and leaning on him more. It would have made some sense potentially to eliminate the Mariah character completely and have it be that Peregrine is the one that tried to escape to like avoid being caught for his crimes, and then the letters would actually be letters of accounting letters that shows that he's been smuggling things. And yeah, you could have merged two characters and given more characterization there to Peregrine, who seems like he's going to be a much bigger player than Mariah is, unless something happens. And here we have a horseshoe layout, and often with these layouts it seems fairly obvious that they just leave extra piles of cards if they can't think of anything to do with it. Okay, so you do a 6 here. And then if we change this and this was a 7, then we could go 8, 7, 8, and then 9 here. Won't uncover anything. 0, 1, 2 here. 1, 2 here. Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7. That unlocks one thing. Then we can go 8, 7 here. And then 7 can't help us anymore. 4, 4, 3, 2. Or 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2. 0 can get this 9. 2, 1, 3. Right. Do we play this 4? I guess you do. And then we'll shuffle for no good reason, but do it anyways. Get rid of another cup. 8, 8, 9, 1, 3, 7, 6. Probably gonna lose here. We'd have to get very lucky. We also are really short on extra cards. Yeah. This would be the time to potentially try and build that up. And I assume you have to retry that. Maybe we'll have multiple sub-chapters here where we are looking for the belt, because it doesn't immediately stand out to me that it has to be here. So we want to get this 5 so we get those matches. And 4 and 5. And then change that to like a 6. Then we can go 7 and then 8. Let's end the turn here. Get this cup. Now we don't have anything face up that would help us other than this 0. So let's shuffle. Yeah, it doesn't strike me like there is an item here. So 9. 5. 4, 3, 2, 3. 1, 5, 2, 1, 0. Okay, then you go 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay. We've got a chance now. 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. This. 8 and 7. I And if I hit this now, there's a chance of success. We have 18 chances to clear the board. I think we're going to pull this off, and yes, getting more jokers would definitely be appreciated. 0, 1. It gets us fairly far. And then 8, 7, 6. Gets 2 cards removed. 9 gets rid of that. 2 can get a 1 or 3. I think we get this 3. 6 does nothing. 0 gets that off. That and that. 7 more options to get 2 cards remaining. That's fairly likely to happen. Unless we just end up with a whole bunch of 6s. There we go. And basically a pointless subchapter just in there to waste time. You could have easily removed that and gotten rid of that deal. So what it seems like is the case is that you have deals like this where they have been designed specifically to be on top of very specific collectible items like the belt here. And then you have deals that are filler that are just the cards are dealt in either a random or artistic fashion, mostly random. I would say more than artistic. Okay. 9, 0, 9, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's now the time to shuffle. There's like 1 cup here, and there's a decent chance of getting that 1 cup, so. Yeah. I don't want to play spare cards. 6, 7. And there's extra items. Which we could probably use extra items. I guess the big twist that could happen here is that we could end up realizing that A, we are being told the truth but from a bad guy, or B, we're being lied to. I don't think it would make a lot of sense to reveal that this guy is lying to us. This game is too simplistic for people to actually act that suspiciously. 9, 8. And I guess we'll leave it at that. But it does seem like we are setting up for some kind of duel. So I do have a question there as far as where is that duel coming from? Unless we just go through this whole chapter and it is simply just set up for the next chapter. Which might be the case too, because the last chapter was very difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if they just were trying to make up for that. 7, 8, 9. It wouldn't be bad, but we kind of have enough options to not do that, so we'll go here. 7, 8. 7 is probably the better move. 5. I'll take a spare card now. 7, 2. These 2 9s probably are going to be a problem, so I'm going to hope that we get rid of at least one of them. 2 would have been nicer. 9, 9. Okay. So we need a 7 or a 5 in the remaining 8 cards, plus whatever is under that. You found the strong waist belt. You could restrain the belly of the most portly gentleman. Okay, 6 options now to get a 1 or 9. Decent chance. If not, I think we just play a joker. Was there really benefit in playing the joker at that point? I guess not. I could have just taken 2 stars. Because if I'm going to come back and try and get 3 stars, and this is a big if at this point, I don't think I really would do this. But if in some future point I was going to try and come back and play and get 3 stars, I'd have to play the entire chapter anyway, so I'd have to start over from scratch. Meanwhile, I am now less down the joker spare card, which could have been very helpful. I've got my belt on now. Take me on again. I'm enjoying this fight. It's basically a hernia belt to stop your umbilical guts from spilling out through massive blows to the stomach or just exertion, and it shows. I think I personally would say if you're having to wear a hernia belt, a weightlifter's belt, a boxing belt, things like that, that kind of shows that the human body is weak and that the activity you're doing is not in line with a healthy activity and safe activity for your body. There's a big difference between like resistive training and then weightlifting or trying to build muscle that you really don't need. Indeed, I have more questions, so let's fight. Let the fight commence. Okay, let's spice things up a bit. 3 more rounds to no holds barred. May wish to equip some gear, items, potions, bombs before you start the duel. What is he fighting with? The right jab and the left uppercut. Let's see, reduce enemy defense for 20% for 3 turns. Also 20% chance to counterattack. Yeah, he is increasing his weapons options quite a bit. I don't think I have anything here. Like, I could resist stun, certainly. But that's not really what I think I would do. Let's see. Let's give ourselves a rat. And then slow weapon charging. Or disarm. Okay. I think that's probably about as good as we're gonna get it.
Duel.
Okay. Should we play anything at the moment? I could go 4, 5, 4. 5, 6, 4. And then poison and bleed on the guy to start with. Then 6. And just try and stun him. Okay, now while we're stunning, we can move forward towards combos. He's still stunned. 6. His health is already pretty low. 9, 8, 9, 0. Play the spare so we end up with this item. I don't even know if I need this at this point. Let's just see if we can stun him. No, he's gonna stun me. And these different animations, like that was a real uppercut it showed there. I wasn't really expecting that. I would have figured this would have been more of a just wording difference. Okay. We have 1 8 and I don't see any 6s. So a shuffle here probably isn't going to change too much, but we'll see. 8, 9 helped a little, and then unless this turned this into a 0, which we'll try. 8. And we've got enough of a combo to fight. 3, 4. Do I really need to do anything? Is the question. Like, I could throw soap, but I think I can just also just win. Unless he starts countering like crazy or in some other way messing with me. Alright, well, we have nothing better to do, so the soap didn't do anything. That was a waste. Should I drink the tea? That's a little extreme to do that, but whatever. Yeah, he's countering and very possibly doing more damage to me than I am to him. Okay. Well, there's nothing more to do. Yeah, I'm doing like 5, he's doing like 10. And he's lowering my defenses considerably. Yeah. I may have lost here. Yeah, one more counter. Wow. And that really does just highlight to me the idea of the counterpunch really playing a role. I think the rat worked fairly nicely. Unless we want to throw a grog bomb on him. You know what, we'll equip a bigger grog bomb, even.
Duel.
Start with that. 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Shuffle now. Let's see. Well, I take this and then it goes to my inventory, which is fine because I wasn't going to use it anyways. Okay. Smack them since we got a good combo there. Throw that. 8, 9. Throw a rat now or throw a punch? Yeah. 1. Just throw the rat. I guess 6, 7, get your combo there. And I suspect you're not going to be countering counters. Eight, 9, 8. Take that. Can't do anything, so we'll drink some health. This kind of chapter, though, really throws all of your weapons out the window and undoes any, like, focus on all that equipment that we've been relying on. And while our main character has leveled up some, the level up she's getting is not particularly the level ups that would increase a base damage or anything like that. That, like, it's not punch for 12 base damage because 12 is your level as a character. It's punch for 12 base damage just because they made up the number 12. Like, it would be nice if every time you leveled up, the base damage for every weapon also went up with you. And it would mean you wouldn't have to potentially create cards that are like a +1 version, +2 version, +3 version of a card. Guess we'll go 6 here. And then I'm gonna play the spare card to get this. And then I'm gonna just hope that he doesn't do something like that. Okay. Please win. Yep. Even in that final blow, I didn't know for certain whether I was actually going to win or not. We have like 2 more sub-chapters and it's already been an hour. Here's an interesting thought. It says, do you know of a girl named Mariah? Is there any gossip about her? Which I suppose the idea is in this time frame there probably are not that many people around, so it is possible that there would be only one Mariah that she's speaking of. Although, honestly, I think that even in this time frame, Mariah would have to be a slightly rarer name. It would make more sense. Do you know of Mariah of the Darkmoor estate? Who stays at the Darkmoor estate to better describe it? Because yeah, in real world history, so many of the characters would be named after like Christian names, Roman Catholic type names, that there would probably be a lot of Elizabeths, a lot of Sarahs, a lot of names like that. Mariah, I'm not sure is a biblical name, no. And of course, in reality, you would go, do you know of a black girl? And I'm censoring myself there because they probably use the N-word to describe her, named Mariah. No, none that I know of. She is the daughter of one of the deceased Lady Darkmoor's servants. So maybe Mariah is the half-sister of Lady Cornelia, and thus maybe she is going to be the Deus Ex Machina that claims the Darkmoor estate for herself, because the magistrate has pulled some shenanigans to steal the estate from Lady Cornelia. That would be my only thought. Otherwise, this is just confirmation that Mariah is not a criminal mastermind, or she is such a great criminal mastermind that she's like the Kingpin in the Marvel Daredevil comics and has just kept herself completely hidden from all rumor. There wasn't much company for the little Lady Cornelia, so Mariah became her childhood companion. I'm told the two girls are inseparable, but they must both be quite grown up now. Wow. Like, everything up until this point has sounded like it was just old English, but that just looks like a straight up typo. They must both. Yeah, this B must be. This B must be part must be a typo. Because it would make a lot more sense to say they must both be quite grown up now. And yeah, in writing, you generally don't want to write somebody as stuttering or stammering, so I don't believe that's the case here. I think this is just a straight up typo. And that certainly takes it to a whole new level of criticism of the writing, is that if they didn't even have a good proofreading. We are acquainted, Mariah and I. I just wanted to make sure there were no rumors about her. You're a good sport. Let's go again. But, I mean, if there's one sentence with a typo in it, it's not the end of the world, certainly, but it is annoying, to say the least. The default is to have no typos. Attack and defenses. I think we will play one of these. And then we'll take one of these. Yeah, and there's no new items or abilities to buy. Let's deal. There's a health. Okay, well I can't do anything, so now's the time to throw a snuff bomb. And then we can do 2 here. And smack them. Can't do anything here. So we'll just attack again. And now his counter is doing less damage than what my attacks were doing, so we have that advantage. We'll get this health increase, which will also help us out, and we'll take that Joker certainly. Then take this 7. And smack him again. Yeah, the snuff bomb apparently doesn't last for the entire game. Which is counter to what I thought it did. So now he could potentially get some major combos on me. So we had an advantage. I think the advantage may very well be gone now. I didn't even look for combos there. 1, 2. Smack. 0, 9. Should I heal or should I attack? I'm gonna just heal. Should I heal or should I attack? 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Shuffle now or play a card. Let's do this first. 8. Joker 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1. Shuffle. Two. Alright. Major attack increase. Is that enough? And then 12 would do like 5 damage. I'm gonna try not to use this and try to earn this. Go ahead and play this one. 6. 5. And then 9 can't do anything, so do another 5. One counter won't kill me. Although if he can counter again, it could kill me. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. And there we have an overkill. That's probably pretty good as far as health items getting picked up too, because I could use a lot more health items. And if the game had just given me a free shop where I could have bought at least one health upgrade every time I ran out of a health upgrade, I would have used them a lot more as far as not health upgrades, but just health refill items. If it sold actual upgrade items, that'd be nice too. Can you tell me about Lord Fleetwood? He was the youngest son of the Fleetwood family and was still at Oxford being educated when he got news of his elder brother had died in action in France. Which, yeah, I don't know what time frame this is supposed to be in, but okay. With his father suffering from a long illness, young Lord Raymond Fleetwood found himself head of the household tasked with managing many acres and tenants. Now, here's the problem. I don't remember who Lord Fleetwood is. I guess he's the guy with the guns that we went and trained with? The potential romance interest character? I guess that would be him. But he hasn't played enough of a role to solidly register in my memory. His elderly mother has tried in vain to set him up with a bride. It is said that he turns down advances from half the eligible ladies in the country. Lord Fleetwood doesn't like to brag, but he is an acclaimed marksman. He could doubtless rise to be a general in His Majesty's army if he's close. Interesting. So if it's His Majesty's army, instead of Her Majesty's army, that probably does lean the time frame in a little bit to being at least not the queen, the current queen in the real world timeline, Elizabeth II. Otherwise it would be Her Majesty's army. Before long, there will be battles for him to join. Mark my words, his time will come. He always makes time for me when he changes horses here. A true gentleman. If you have a chance, you should get acquainted with him. I think I will. Thank you for the information. Time for more boxing? Question mark? If you can win this one, there's a special prize for you. But after this final bout, it'll be my turn to ask you a question. Do we have a deal? Very well, I accept your terms. Yeah. With a story like that, it definitely does feel like Lord Fleetwood is going to be the romantic interest, if not the person who just swoops in and saves the day and solves all the problems for the female protagonist. Melee damage by 50% for 3 turns. Fortifying tonic. He now has a 5 charge 14 base that reduces the enemy's defense by 20% and a 20% chance of counterattack with the left uppercut, and then still with the right jab. We should equip something more as far as items. I don't think snuff bombs are particularly that useful. I'm gonna take a throwing knife though, and then let's see, extra turns, boost defense. Not a terrible thought to boost defense. Piercing's probably not gonna be that useful. I still really just don't think we have anything else that we could do as far as equipment and items. Oops, clicked the wrong button. The mouse hitched up a little bit there. Right, well, 1, 9, 8. Take this 7. And then this 6 reveals something, which then gives us this 7, which then gives us this 6, which just can get that 5 off field, and then this 4 opens that, and then we could go 3, 2, 1, 0, or we could go 3, 4, 5, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 9, 0, 0, 9, 0, 9, 8, 9, 0, 1, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Seriously, if I had just managed to get like one more spare card, or one lucky, I would have cleared the entire field in one turn. Yeah. Take this 4. I don't think we can do anything more, but we could shuffle. Sure, why not? That didn't help us any. So 37 damage. I mean, you have to attack at that. 30 damage, that all of a sudden puts you just at a very nice advantage without him being able to really counter. I could throw that. Or I could boost defense. But I don't know if I'm gonna really need any of that. So, let's see. Take this 2 to start with. Then take 1. Then we could go 0, 9, 0. And then take this 9 or take this 2. Actually, I can't take that 2, so I have to take that 9. And he's just stunned still. 3. Take this 4, that reveals 2 cards. Unless we want to take that 2. Okay. Yeah, I think I've just gotten incredibly lucky with that first run, that first deal. And because of that incredible amount of luck, I don't think I need to use any of the items I've collected, nor do I think I'm going to get any extra items, so I don't even know if I'm going to get spare cards. Right, so now you do that one, and then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 3. Yep. And see, even if he started stunning me like crazy, now I could just throw this for a base damage of 13, and I'd be really, really close to a victory. And so he's drinking this almost in a final desperate attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. There's basically nothing he could do. We might as well just use this to get gold and just see if we can continue the pattern. No need to. The last chapter felt a little easier than the previous ones, and now this feels a little easier than the previous ones also. So I wonder if maybe we just hit a plateau, a mountain peak, and now we're on the other side of the mountain, and the remaining chapters are going to be relatively easy. They're still challenging enough. They don't feel boring or like cakewalks or anything, but they do feel like they aren't actually challenging much. And if a bare fist fight is feeling easy, then one assumes by the time we start fighting people with weapons again, that'll feel even easier, but maybe I'll be wrong about that. From the fringe contender to champion, you really have rolled with the punches today. Claim your prize. Yep. And we got everything done. And so now we have a 10% boost of clubs, tools, and gloves. A +1 defensive one with the riding habit. And 1 fortified tonic. And 1 joker card, which we really could use that. And we just got an achievement for completing chapter 15, which, yeah, there are, let's see, 6 more achievements, and I think 3 of them we know are from beating the game on relaxed, normal, and hard mode. If I beat it on hard mode, I'm hoping that gives me all 3 of those achievements, which leaves us probably with just an achievement for beating one of the next few chapters, like chapter 19 perhaps, somewhere in the middle there. And then there might be something else that we still need to do, more specifically to get the final achievement. Although I kind of question what that could be. You fought well, enjoy your prize. The final question is mine. You never told me your name. Who are you, traveler? You've been fighting the infamous Shadowhand. You can tell anyone you like, but give me a few hours riding before the story goes out. A legendary encounter. You'd best be off. I'll not be able to hold my tongue for long. Which, yeah, if somebody showed up with a mask in the past, or even in the present time, like, usually you don't stand around boxing them and talking to them. You demand who they are. You run from them. Something along those lines. These brutal gloves will see you right in any brawl. Alternatively, a hot branding iron can help you make your mark. So, punch for a base of 13 and 50% chance to stun and can't be disarmed. How much is that? 500, 500. I could afford both of them, certainly. But a branding iron, not so much. Stun and bleeding. Stun and bleeding. Base damage of 11. Which honestly, the base damage going up does kind of feel like it's something that's less useful. But this is a base damage of 12 with a charge of 4. And has a 25% chance to cause bleeding. But this is stun and bleeding. I think we'll do this. We do this one. I guess it only goes on the end. Then we'll take this one. And this. And this was just brawling glove left and brawling glove right. Item wise. 20% chance to deflect an item and willpower is high. 30% chance to deflect wig power and snuff versus +1 luck. I wouldn't buy that. I think I probably would buy this, since it is just a base upgrade. I'm hoping I have enough gold to buy everything for sale here, just to keep ourselves in stock. And here we have a branding iron ability with 64 charges, which change a targeted playable card to a spare card of the same value, which I guess that means you'd never get a joker for that, but yeah, I don't think that would be as good as this is, and it is 1500 gold, so we are obviously short on gold. Meanwhile, this belt would increase this, so let's put this on. And this boots with 1 defense versus stealth. Riding habit. Which one is the riding habit? This just scrolls down. We have riding boots. Habit would be a hat. And I just don't think we have that yet. A habit to my... Oh no, this is it. Okay, well. Then you put this on. And you put this on. And then this was this piercing and reduces. So then we now need to see comparisons here. Resist stun. Resist bleeding. I guess we could resist stun. Okay. And then that gives us another option here, but loses us a passive ability item, which I'm okay with that. I think that sets us up better. 9 defense with a lot of weapons doing 12 or 13, which means we're barely taking 4 damage unless they do something else to us. Character wise, we've got a boost in our stats. We want to pour more into our active abilities, charging even faster. And I guess the question would come down to, is there a lot of alternative options that would increase our setup? Like, we've only found 1 bracer in the entire game. There's this poison, deflect animal attacks. Yeah. I guess we are in a position now where, let's see, plus 1 insight versus 1 guile. Insight versus guile. I guess I do want more guile. So swap that around. Yeah, we've only really found 2 hats, 1 bracer. The outfit element of this game is kind of broken. We would probably have to grind quite a bit to get all of these weapons. And they do seem like they're just going to be available at the shop. There isn't, I think, the greatest of reason to switch that. Alright, well, that was a nice upgrade, certainly, to our equipment and all, but I do have to question if we aren't being set up for a very frustrating next chapter. If not, this may just be an easy ride to the end of the game, which I'll appreciate that. Even at that point, though, each chapter is taking longer and longer. It's been 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.